get it into the man for number 55.
Tim Duncan has got to touch it again against Nowitzki. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Off the window. Flat that time, and Howard's got the rebound.
Yeah, a little flat shot that time. Trying to look for the glass.
Hardaway for the tie. Unbelievable. You knew what he wanted to do. You could see it coming.
You have got to be kidding me. That was from 40 feet.
Spurs will call timeout. Taking it half court. Shot clock, game clock separated by 5.3 seconds. Hardaway has done it often during his career. 13th year out of the minors program at Texas El Paso.
Well, he's had some of the biggest shots this league has ever seen. And here he just comes down from about 30 and launches. And nothing but the bottom of the net. That's a huge shot.
A lot of people forget that Tim Hardaway, just 3 years ago, was second in the league in three-pointers made. He's done it his entire career.
Well, we talked about his teammates. They call him bigs for taking big shots, and that certainly was a big one.
Well, the Spurs points in overtime belonging to one man. That's Tim Duncan. He's got all 7.
Yeah, he's just dominating on the inside. You don't see any double teams. Look at Nowitzki that time. He's just a body. Here he is again, spinning, little jump hook. And Dallas is frustrated. They have no idea what to do with that man there. He scored almost every time he's touched it.
Glad it was an early start tonight. We could be around for a while. Tied at 123. Could be double OT before it's all over. Spurs, though, with 21 seconds on the shot clock. 26.3 left in overtime. And what a beginning. The first of 4 between two teams that are, you've got to believe, are going to have a classic rivalry in years to come, with Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and some others for the San Antonio Spurs. Finley and Nowitzki are going nowhere, just like Steve Nash for the Mavericks. It is just building.
Yeah, the Dallas Mavericks have their nucleus set. Now it's up to the Spurs. They have Tim Duncan for another year. You have to get Tony Parker for a long time. You hope that those guys stay together. This is you're right. It's been making for a classic rivalry.
Now, on the inbound series, Tim Duncan asking for it early. Nowitzki in front of him initially. And look at Nowitzki as it's thrown away by Malik Rose. Nowitzki fouled by Rose as he threw it away. And it's amazing that we have seen the whistles put away, and on both sides. But Nowitzki did a great job. He got away with everything he could.
Well, first off, that's what the officials are supposed to do. They're not going to give anybody a ticky-tack foul in this situation. They're going to make you earn this game.
So now the chance to win. The final shot of overtime. Steve Nash, Tim Hardaway in the backcourt. Finley, Nowitzki, and Howard out there for the Mavericks. Got to believe it's going to be Michael Finley's turn.
Bruce Bowen has a monumental task, but he's somebody who's up to it.
It'll be Nash instead, and he gets it done. Three-pointer with 0.6 of a second to play. If Finley wasn't available, it was going to be Nash, and Nash got the job done.
Wow, that's just heartbreaking. We talked about it early on in the Open, about how gritty this guy is. He's hard-nosed. Bowen doing a tremendous job of fronting Michael Finley, trying to keep the ball out of his hands. But Nash has that ability to dance. He gets behind the screen, and all he needs is a speck of daylight to get that shot off. And Bowen right there, maybe a foot or two off of Nash where he could have been up, but he's trying to prevent Finley from catching the ball down low because Finley's stuck with Antonio Daniels on him. So you can't fault Bowen on that play. He's doing the right thing. Nash just getting a quick shot off.
Now the catch and shoot proposition. 0.6 of a second. Very difficult to get anything off in 0.6 of a second.
And you need to get a 3.
You don't have a choice. You're down by 3. So you run a rub out on the perimeter. It'll either be Steve Smith or Terry Porter. That's your ultimate for a three-point attempt.
Steve Smith, Terry Porter, you got to put your best three-point shooters out here. Antonio Daniels can shoot the ball. But if you're the Dallas Mavericks, you put everybody that you have out on the perimeter and you give up the 2.
Bringing it to the sideline of the offensive end. Antonio Daniels will bring it in. Got to believe the Spurs. We've seen it before. We'll get at least a look. Can they get it off, though, in time? Here we go.
Plays for Terry Porter here.
It is Porter at the buzzer. That'll do it. That's what you have to do, though, with 0.6 of a second. You have to get rid of it in a hurry. So the difference, Steve Nash and Tim Hardaway, back-to-back threes after the Spurs led 123 to 120. That's our final 126-123 in overtime. John and I'll be back, but first we're going to send to the studio, join Keith Leibowitz now, Randy McIlvoy in our Southwest Sports Report studio.